Okay, I figured I would do another one of these vlogging. Did I just make that word up? Vlogging. A walk while vlogging, or a vlog while I'm walking. I feel like that's great. Anyways, I feel like the last vlogging was so good, and we have to do it today because today we need to talk about something very serious, just like every time. Bless me. You guys, I think okay, so I have many things to say. I think the most important thing is, one of the things of being at peace with yourself and with your body, like mind, body, everything connection, is by being like disciplined with yourself. I think sometimes we fall into this trap of like, I'm gonna explain why this whole thing like came to my mind. The reason why was because I saw a TikTok of a girl and she was saying like how she thinks that the whole like being skinny like thing is gonna come back to be big, not because people are toxic or anything. It's because people actually tried being like a little bit lazier, not go to the gym, not eat so healthy, this whole thing of like eat whatever you want, and they took it too far. I say they, and I include myself in this because I definitely did. And this like whole like intuitive eating, and it's like, okay, how do you intuitive eat, but then you could have an eating disorder potentially, and then you're just like restricting and binging, you know? That's not what people mean when they say intuitive eating. But like, how do you get to that point? I think how you get to that point is not by eating whatever you want. I think there's still a side of not being restrictive and like saying no to all foods and like saying no to everything, but it's definitely a self-control thing. The same thing goes with like walking and being active. It was never not in to like work out, but I think when we were all doing this very intense workouts, then we all wanted to like rest, and this whole narrative of if you didn't go to the gym today, it's okay. And like, yeah, realistically, if you don't go to the gym today, it's okay, but like, you have to be active. Even if it's a walk, it doesn't have to be something big. It can just be a walk if you're not trying to look fit. Now, if you're trying to be fit without working out, that's for sure never gonna happen, you know? So I thought it was important to talk about because I agree with the girl that was saying that on the TikTok, especially with the part where she said we all went to like being lazier and bigger and like not having so much control over our bodies, and we didn't like it. I didn't feel better. I felt worse. Literally, I felt worse than what I would feel when I was trying to be like super restrictive with carbs. To me, the thing that hits the most is carbs and sweets. If I'm overeating carbs and I'm eating a lot of sweets, I know that I'm gaining weight. Like for me, it's a fact. I know that if I'm having dinners and dinners and dinners with carbs, eating carbs at lunch too, and then like eating also carbs during breakfast, I know that I'm gonna gain weight because it's all about like really knowing what works for your body, right? So what works for your body, there's a lot of people that say like it's all about the calories, and I do agree. I've never counted calories like specifically. I've done it for like a few days, but then I always forget or like something happens. So then I try to be more intuitive with it, and it's not like I'm gonna eat intuitively, meaning I'm gonna eat whatever I want. Or I want to be in shape, but I'm never going to go out on my walk, and I just like forget about it, or I put it off because today I'm tired, and today I don't want to do this, and then to the next day I had a bad day at work, and then the next day I had an argument with my boyfriend, and the next day I haven't gotten paid, like whatever, I don't know, you know? Then you start making excuses. And someone said also, it was like, it's all like, I could sit here, she was saying this, I could sit here and eat this whole like candy bar, but I'm not gonna do it because if I do, I'm not gonna gain weight from eating this candy bar. But that's gonna start this whole like hamster wheel of I ate the candy bar and then I have 5 cookies, and then I don't want to control myself and just eat 2 cookies because who wants to do that? I'm just gonna eat the 5, and then at dinner you're being offered something heavy versus something light, and you're like, oh, whatever, like I already broke my diet during the day, so I'm just gonna go for the heavier meal, and tomorrow I'll go back to like eating normal or whatever. If that was the case, if that's actually what you did, then that's perfectly fine. You can have days where you like eat more, you can have days when you don't go on your walk, and when you don't clean too. I feel like the main things are like cleaning, being consistent with like supplements, skincare, all the things, being consistent with working out, and eating good. I feel like those are the 4 like main things, not necessarily for a woman, but just for like everyone, like basic things like hygiene, self-hygiene, and like hygiene in the house. not like have your house squeaky clean all the time. That could also be very toxic, right? Because then you're not resting and then you're always trying to keep the house clean and then you're doing this, like that's not healthy. But if it's one day when we don't do any of the following, if you skip your skincare at night one time, if you didn't do the dishes one time, one night, you didn't go on your walk one time, if you ate the pasta at night at 10 p.m., nothing is going to happen. The thing is, if we just let ourselves go, we are gonna be gone, like gone, 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 gone. You have to have some self-control. Like you have to have some self-control. I don't know who this video is for, but I hope it reaches the person that needs to listen to it. I thought that I was gonna gain so much peace by not necessarily cleaning every single day and by not forcing myself to work out as much, and you don't have to post a video every single day, and you don't have to eat healthy all the time. So you can have seasons where you eat a little bit more. Yeah, maybe Christmas you're gonna eat a little bit more. But if you turn that switch off, that is the switch that we all want to turn off, and we just let it go, it's gonna go. Like if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You know what switch I'm talking about. That switch that tells you after work, you didn't walk in the morning, you have to do your walk, you have to do your walk, and you ignore it. You're like, shh, I don't wanna do it today. You literally talk to that voice and you're like, I don't wanna do it today. Today I deserve rest. Okay, fine. Talk to the voice, tell them, today you're gonna get rest, but the next day and the day after that and the day after that and the day after that, you're gonna go and do what you're meant to be doing. Same thing goes, I can give the example of like making videos and posting them. When I started the challenge for 30 days, I was scared because I was like, can I even promise myself that I'm gonna do this consistently for 30 days? It hasn't even been the 30 days yet, but I can tell you there's days that I didn't wanna make a video. I did not wanna make a video, and I still made the video. Maybe one of those videos are the ones that are gonna blow up because we've seen it happen so many times. Maybe it won't, but at least you kept a promise to yourself. I think there's a 2-day rule or a 3-day rule, unless you're feeling sick, okay? If you're sick, it's okay to rest and do this and do that, like not let yourself go completely, but I'm talking for the people that are healthy and perfectly capable of. If you are fighting that switch, you have to listen to it. You and the switch have to get along. We have to be friends. Like, when are you being too much and too extra and you're not letting me breathe and sit down and get some rest? And when are you calling me out on my BS? When do I actually need the tough love of get up, clean your house, do your walk, eat less? You don't need the cookies. You don't need the arepa at night. You need the tough love, and that needs to be like provided by yourself. There's always gonna be someone outside like trying to encouraging you, but until we, because I'm definitely the example of this too, until we learn to do self-control or to be self-controlled, we're never gonna have control over our lives. We're never gonna have control over our lives. And that's why I think food is one of the biggest things, and I know it can cause so much like disorder, trust me, I know, but it's not about being restrictive or about binging or about eating the carbs or not eating the carbs or about eating the sweet or not eating the sweet. It's about control. It's about self-control. You need to have self-control. If a person knows how to control themselves around food, they can control themselves in a lot of different situations. If you want to walk every day because it's good for your hormones, it's good for cortisol, it's good for like getting a fresh air, or just like in your walking pad because it makes you feel better, and then you just don't do it because you told yourself you were too tired, more than one day is like, come on, unless you're sick, more than one day is like, it kills the confidence. It kills the confidence because then what you're saying you're going to do and when you're telling yourself you're going to do, you don't do it. So it's like failing yourself. So don't fail yourself. You, the voice, and yourself are friends. You all are one, and you all have to be in agreement. Agreement? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Anyways, I hope this video encourages you to give yourself the tough love when needed, while also being patient. I hope it encourages you to continue to have these little habits that we want to build to have a better life overall. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you tomorrow.